And welcome back, everybody, to After Hours. I'm Tim.
I'm Jonathan.
And our top shelf topic for this episode is going to be about, do you have a team or do you just have employees? We're going to see the difference of what's the difference between having people that you hire and people who are there to have your back. Like, is a company just a bunch of employees, or is it a group of individuals that come together and believe in the same thing? So, Jonathan, you can attest to the side of owning a business and hiring employees, and I can attest to being part of several teams and knowing leaders and managers and what's a job and what's not. Oh, and I'm taking this episode a little bit more casually. Jonathan and I are just going to have our Mr. Drinks. Oh, I hope they picked up that audio. All right, Jonathan, we'll start with you. So what is your perspective on the importance of having a team rather than just employees?
I think having a team is going to put everybody sort of more on the same page to try to get things done for the business versus people feeling like there's individuals in a company just each doing their own thing.
Now, as a person who owns a business, I think it's impossible to find somebody who can have the same vision as you, because you're taking your business personally because it is your business that you've started from the ground up. So finding people with that same motivation, that same push, that same vision, like, how do you do that? How do you find people that are going to be on the same page as you?
I think it's just trying to find people that don't have to see the exact same vision as you, but if you can find things that they do well in and excel in, that can drive toward that mission that you have, and it also gives them that creativity and the things that they want to do. I think that that's an important way to try to put together a team.
That's really interesting. So you're basically saying you make investments in the people, and the best version of the person is going to represent the best of the company.
Yeah, and then I try to put them, exactly, into the spots that I think they'll excel in.
Summarize that very well. I do say so myself. So I feel like that's something that a lot of people just don't understand when it comes to trying to being a manager of people, trying to be a person who hires and fires, who pays and that kind of thing. I mean, how do you deal with people who are there for a paycheck? Are you trying to convert them to be a team player, or are you going to try and just nudge them in a direction where it's like, listen, you can do this more than just a paycheck. We're really wanting you to, improve yourself and what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I always want people to come here to enjoy what they do, but to want to also better the company. And you bring people on, and sometimes it's even ones that act like that's how they're going to be. Sometimes you don't know if that's how they're going to be. Yeah. Sometimes you just can't change it. I mean, you can try whatever you want, but some people do just come in for a paycheck. And I think in building a team, and it's one of the places I actually fail at, is cutting people off sooner than I should. Because I think the worst thing to actually have are people that are draining, makes the team players that actually are putting in the effort feel like that this person's going under the radar and they're only putting in half the effort. So I think there's so many ways that can bring the team down. And I think that's actually a spot that I need to work on more, is cutting people when it's just not working.
I mean, that brings up a good point. Like, you say the importance in the difference of a person who has, like, say, the same vision but is slower to do things right, other than a person who's doing things right but just there for a paycheck. It's the investment is with the person who actually wants to get better, rather than just stay the same in their efforts. Because there are lots of people who have had jobs that have taught them, listen, just half-ass it. You'll get paid the same as the person who's sweating it over there, so you don't have to do as hard of work.
And that is, in some businesses.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I remember when
corporates.
I remember when my parents sold one of their print companies to somebody. They had to stay in and actually sort of help run things for a while. And my dad was actually back there running some of the production stuff. And the manager actually came up to him and was like, "Hey, me and the other guys don't like how quickly you're getting the jobs done. You need to slow it down."
Wow.
So that's not the right mentality. Yeah, that's not the right mentality to have. But I mean, that is out there.
Yeah.
And it's sort of scary.
There's a movie called Hot Fuzz with Simon Pegg, for those who are movie buffs like me.
And I don't know who that is.
It's fine. It's about this one police officer who is so good at what he does that he gets sent away to some village that is like, gets awards for being the most well-behaved village in the entire country. So that he does such good of a job, he's making everyone else look bad. So he's then isolated in this one village area. It's a great movie, but it just, yeah, you're right. There are people out there who just does, anyone who's threatening to do a better job just for just upping their quality is threatening them because they're going to rise above. So
I think that's a great point with the team. Is you want to have people coming together to where other people want to excel to do as well as the person they're seeing do the job versus feeling threatened by it. I think as a team, you appreciate the fact that somebody's putting in the effort and maybe they're doing a better job than you had at the time, but it still makes you want to do better versus taking it personal, like, oh, they're just trying to do a better job than me or they're making me look bad. And I think that that's a big difference, too, between individuals versus a team. And, I mean, I by far do not have this down. I mean, we're still trying to put together a team.
oh yeah, I feel like that's probably a lifelong process just to refine something, closer and closer till it's a precious gem.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of the times when I interview people, they might not have any of the credentials that I'm initially looking for, but I'm still just going to go ahead if I feel like they maybe have,
Are they adaptable?
an adaptable personality.
It's like me. It's like I came on with just an open mind with just skills you didn't know I had, but just the ability to learn new things quickly.
You're one of the biggest ones that, I've had come in. Yeah.
Well, I am 6'4". But no, I definitely see the value in that because it says a lot about the people who give you that, I guess, freedom or that space to grow, to adapt, and to learn things in a quick manner. Other than people who are just like, just do this. If you don't do it right, then you're out of here, that kind of thing. So I mean, I've definitely come from a lot of places where it was just that. It was just a paycheck. Stock things on a shelf, just load things up, unload a truck, put
Now,
things away.
have you worked with any other places, companies that have had more of a team unity?
Well, I mean, and when I was at Chick-fil-A, you were
Chick-fil-A has a
literally
great model.
exactly. They were called team members from the start, and so I feel like that gave you the right mindset right away. It's like, listen, we're a team. You may not know everybody, you may be new, or you may be a manager, whatever. We're all on a team. Team manager, team member, team supervisor. We're all on a team, and that's like how Chick-fil-A just functions so well because from the get-go, everyone has the same mindset of like, listen, we're all unified. We're all in this together, and we're here for the same cause. It's not about the paycheck. It's about doing the best we can. And I feel like that just is a great model for teaching people how to be a good person in general. Because the best version of yourself is what's going to shine. Other people are going to see that.
But how did they get everybody to have that mindset? I guess, how do they find people that aren't necessarily there just for a paycheck or to get over the fact that, did people go there realizing that it's maybe a stepping stone, or are they there? Some of them are looking for the long term to want to own their own Chick-fil-A one day.
Well, that's why they hire young. They hire kids that are like finishing up high school, who are in the middle of college, people who are still in a molding phase. So, sometimes they'll hire older people, depending on the position, but mostly for the new ones, it's just they're very young and they're very impressionable to a point where they can learn good manners, they can learn how to be a team player. And it's like, we are paying you to have good manners, because it's like they don't pay me enough to smile, that kind of thing. It's like, oh no, we're paying you for the whole package. And if you're not going to do that, then this isn't going to work out.
So they're good at cutting ties quickly.
Yes, they can tell the gauntlet of people who are not, hey, could you be a little nicer and friendly with the customers? Please always say, my pleasure. There's a reason why we have this business model. If it's not working out for you, then it's not working for us.
And where they're able to excel, where it's harder for companies, like a printing company, and many other companies, not just a printing company, is they have people all day long applying.
Yeah.
They have the opportunity to be like next.
Well, you know what it is, though? It's the parents. The parents are looking at this place, seeing these young kids who look so polished and so refined, like, you should apply.
My pleasure, yeah.
Yeah, you should apply. This is a good place to work. The food's good. It's good service. Nice people. And of course, the parents are the ones nudging the impressionable kids to, hey, try out this for a job. That's what happened with me, and I turned out all right. But yeah, I feel like that's a model that has been going on since, like the dawn of McDonald's, like when that first started making it big. I feel like there are core secrets, not secrets, but like there are core essentials of building a team, making sure people are on the same page.
And I think one of the things, again, and I'm not perfect at all this stuff, but I do think that it's still foundations, and I realize it is, but it's still, learning as a leader and things like that too, is in the same sense that Chick-fil-A might have the parents, this or that, always saying, hey, you should go apply. As a leader of the company, we should always actively be looking for people, even when we may not have a position open. Because you never know who's going to be the right fit, who you might meet, who you might get that feel about.
So then what do you look for? Like, let's say you're not hiring, but you are noticing things about people. Like, what qualities in people stand out to you when you're hiring? Pay attention, people who are looking for a job.
For me personally, when I'm out and I see great customer service, people that are going above and beyond, not making you wait there for a minute.
Making you feel important.
Yeah, they make you feel good. Like, they make you feel like they're trying to provide you a service, be there for you. And just really the attentiveness. So when we're out at restaurants and stuff, I'm always paying attention to like waiters, waitresses, and the way that they do things. And I mean, sometimes I just want to be like, hey, are you looking for a job like outside of this?
Right, yeah.
Because I feel like there's so many things, like with a lot of companies, that you can train people to learn. I mean, they don't have to necessarily have the skill of things when they come in, but if they do have that great attitude, it just speaks volumes.
Right. It's almost like I wish we could have a good attitude as an essential for a resume, It's like, how's your smile? Do you have a good smile? Because that's what we need for customer service. It's just looking pleasant, looking in control, because appearances matter.
And one of the big red flags to me, and we have some of that going on now, is in the mornings. I want to see people like that come in just ready to start the day. When you don't get that feeling, it's very demoralizing, I feel like, to the whole group.
Yeah, it catches on, it spreads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that I also look for.
So it's looking for people who have the potential of spreading good vibes, but also watching out for the people who are spreading the bad vibes.
It's funny you say that, because I don't consider myself like a voodoo, spiritual, like type of person in that sense.
I wouldn't either.
But I don't know if you remember, I pretty much say it at almost every interview. It's possible it didn't when I met with you. But after I meet with everybody, I tell people, typically I'm like, I really go by feeling and vibe. I'm like, if I start getting a vibe that you're not a good fit, or I get this weird sense and you start pulling negativity into my world, I'm like, that's when I just am done. I'm like, I'll deal with issues, I'll deal with learning, but I'm like, I do not want to feel negativity.
It's like above and beyond in the opposite spectrum. It's like you're going out of your way to be negative.
And there are people that do that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, we've gotten rid of some people over the past few months that have been like that.
It's when their personalities, I guess, are in a phase, and it's just spreading to whatever they're doing.
Yeah. And I don't know. I feel like that is just a really big thing for creating a great team. It's just definitely having people with positive attitudes that are wanting to be there, wanting to contribute.
And that's hard to do, especially for like jobs, for work. It's hard to kind of put on, a persona where you are upbeat despite feeling the opposite. It's kind of being that adult. That's what I was always like. My parents was like, you gotta put on a face. Of course we can't just express how we're feeling all the time. Sometimes we have to buck up and just, look the part.
Yeah.
Especially for work, because you're getting paid for it. At home, it's like, there's no customer service at home. But that's a whole different discussion. It's like, with marriages and stuff, it's like, like act as if you're getting paid to be a good husband. Well, I feel like that summarizes our topic.
Yeah. I mean, did you have anything else from any experiences from your past? Now, I don't mind you saying this. Like, what are things that Express should work on to create a better team atmosphere? Because that could be a good takeaway for people.
Well, what I've noticed with Express is that as we're all trying to go for the same thing, no one's on the same page. No one's playing together. Like there's a different world back here than up front, but we stay in those worlds. We don't try and step in to see like, okay, let me see how this works. Let me see what this person's daily routine looks like. What's on their plate? What happens if I bring something and tell them to drop what they're doing? Like, how does it look for them?
So you think to create a better group dynamic, there really should be
perspective,
right? So, but yeah, I mean, I think that's a great takeaway for people too, that have more than, a couple of people that are starting to build a team, is definitely putting people into each other's areas just so they have an understanding, and even why they might seem a little stressed at times because certain things are going on.
Oh, yeah.
And it just gives
and
better
and what's
perspective.
prioritized too, because like if someone's crammed in the back and like working production, I was up front supposed to know that when a person walks in and needs something right away that they can't do, so they have to bring it back to production. Like there's a lot of scenarios where there's no way a person could know, but there are steps in knowing like, okay, what's the best thing I can do to help out the people in the back? What's the best thing I can do to make sure up front has everything they need?
Well, I do have one more question. I know we sort of got to start wrapping it up.
Yes, sir.
But Amanda told me that while I was away, the last 2 Fridays, groups of people got together. I don't know if you were a part of that.
Yeah.
But I mean, how is it doing that group dynamic, getting people together outside of work? Does it actually help, do you feel? Does it sort of put people more understanding each other? Do you think it creates too much of a friendly atmosphere at the office?
Well, I feel like going out as a team where it's not work, but it's with the people you work with, just being people,
Yeah.
helps tremendously. Just to know, it just humanizes everybody. To know that like, oh my gosh, we can all have stressful days, or we can all, have things going on in our life, and it really helps us like empathize and sympathize with each other. So going out together as a group activity, I think Amanda was very smart to say, let's do this as like a team activity without calling it that. And that's how we all kind of got to know each other better. We started having, laughs together, good memories. So I definitely think that's very important for building team, is just kind of getting to know each other as people,
Yeah.
so that when push comes to shove, you're going to be each other's Spartan, because Spartans believe that they're as strong as the weakest link. So it's like, it's not one person standing on his own. You're defending everyone else beside you. So we just got to get everyone in that mainframe and just, we're all here for each other. The more you know.
The more you know.
So that's going to wrap it up for our top shelf topic. I'm Tim.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. I learned a lot.
Jonathan's learned so much, everybody. Tell us what you've learned, and stay tuned for more episodes to come. So, Jonathan, cheers.
Cheers. Whatever's in this.
Water.
Water.